And I mean, he does have the shared katars from Queen Knight of Ragnar, and I expect him
Right.
to. Since we're going to Shipwreck, I actually think, like when I think about these two legends, and I think about Ragnar's katar D-Sig and N-Sig, those kind of things are really good for edge guarding players on
Oh
the edge.
yeah.
Since there's not much edge to guard, it covers at least half of the ledge, and I expect to see him use those. Starting it off,
Yeah.
though, we see both players rushing for the first weapon. It goes to Flamethrower, but Hermisen quick to pick up the axe in response.
Yep, Hermisen does have his axe, so he's going to get those big chunks, especially against this Ember, very low defense character. It is going to hit very hard, but like you were saying, he doesn't have those katar signatures, which are so strong at covering those walls. And Flamethrower is going to try to make sure that he doesn't get stuck on those walls, especially if Hermisen comes in with those katars.
Ooh, Hermisen landing a down air to D-Light. I love that combo on Axe. It just it shows so much awareness from the player because you're popping them up with the dare, and then immediately before they even have a chance to react most of the time, you're downlighting them. And I'd say one of the most common reactions is to jump out of it,
yeah.
And it catches that too. So good awareness by Hermisen. Now they're pretty much sitting at even damages.
Oh!
Flamethrower actually landing the down sig. I was gonna say that Hermisen was at the advantage given Ember's low defense, but Flamethrower, I'm actually super surprised at how early that KO'd Ragnar. I don't really associate Ragnar with dying that early most of the time.
Yeah, he usually survives a little bit longer than that. But like you're saying, he's got that axe in hand. It's going to take more than a couple of nairs to finish off this stock of Flamethrower. Sidelight doesn't go for the nair true combo. Instead, opts to see how Flamethrower is going to react out of that Sidelight and was maybe looking for a kill punish. Still not finding that big hit that he needs to finish off this low defense Ember. The neutral light will do it.
Yeah, it was getting pretty tough for Hermisen for a second there because Axe, a lot of the time, when you're going to find most of your KOs is actually in like late orange to early red. So when he gets Hermisen or Flamethrower into that like deeper red area, it's a lot harder for him to find those conversions. He just kind of had to fish for something. But he did end up finding it. Now he's in the orange as Flamethrower is sitting in the light yellow. Flamethrower just playing around in neutral with these katar stairs, using it in a way that I feel like we haven't seen since 2018. You don't really see players abuse that as much anymore, and Flamethrower actually landing the Sidelight into Ember D-Sig. I love that. It's so stylish because you're hitting them and then you're reading that they're going to do some sort of wake up option out of hit stun, and you're just stepping back and punishing them accordingly for it.
Now we're seeing Hermisen coming back almost a full stock behind Flamethrower. He's got the katars in hand, which is the weapon that we were talking about at the start of this match, is that we were expecting Hermisen to kind of be a little bit more katar focused, but it's been a pretty axe heavy game coming out from Hermisen. Lots of dare approaches, looking for that downlight follow-up off of it.
Yeah, and Flamethrower just doing exactly what he needs to do, building damage onto Hermisen with these short 1 to 2 hit strings. Well, one hit isn't a string, but you know what I mean. And Hermisen
no, it's a tiny string. It's like a small piece of thread.
it's a yarn.
Yeah.
I know those aren't the same thing, but Flamethrower actually just 100% read Hermisen over and over again in that last stock. I don't even know if Hermisen's last stock was able to touch Flamethrower a single time.
I really feel like Flamethrower was basically in Hermisen's head at that point, and honestly, about halfway through that match, I feel like Hermisen was thinking about, maybe I should play Queen 9 next. Like, it just, there was a level of Hermisen was just doing wake-up stuff, and he wasn't really changing how he was reacting to what Flamethrower was doing. That made me feel like he wasn't all focused, but it looks like he's staying with this Ragnar. It looks like he's been picked up a couple of things, automatically banned out Shipwreck, excuse me. So we're going to win Twilight.
I'm almost wondering if Hermisen takes another loss in this game, if he has a proficient Bryn, because I feel like the katars weren't doing a whole lot for him, especially in the Ditto versus Flamethrower, whereas the Axe was where he was finding most of his damage and his one kill in that game. So I'm almost wondering if he's just going to favor the Axe this game. Definitely it's looking like it so far, as he lands the Gravity Cancel Neutral Light. Flamethrower already in the orange. That low defense rearing its ugly head for Ember right now.
But this is similar to how the last one started. We thought Hermisen was in the lead for a little bit, and then Flamethrower caught him with that down signature read, and suddenly Flamethrower was just in the driver's seat for all of game one. We'll see if Hermisen, with the katar switch, will be able to finish the stock off of Flamethrower before it gets too late, but Flamethrower is really slowing it down. You see the distance he is putting between himself and Hermisen.
Ooh, the double N-Sig both missing. That definitely would have netted him a KO if it hit the first one. Maybe not the second one, but would have been some good damage. Now Flamethrower is starting to play more to his own pace in neutral, starting to land some of these hits and evening out the damage with Hermisen. Hermisen just, now he's back on this axe, and he's having the same trouble as before trying to find a finishing move. He does find that weapon throw into side light nair, but that doesn't quite finish off the stock. He can't find the kill move. He's looking for the axe there. Flamethrower brilliantly spot dodging and playing around Hermisen's just pure want to find the kill, but Hermisen does find a nice dash jump into recovery, a classic stock ender.
And we see him sticking with the axe to at least start off this second stock of Flamethrower. But Flamethrower, he really does have Hermisen close to that kill percent. If he can get that finishing blow, that recovery, maybe the down sig from the right position, could do it. Looking for the side sig read. He knows that he needs to stock up of Hermisen, and that will do it, the recovery. And it's basically even.
Yep. I mean, I would say that Hermisen has the slight edge whenever it's even just because of defense, but I've been wrong in the past. Flamethrower, that was actually really nice. A bow recovery and
into gravity cancel neutral light?
Yeah, into gravity cancel neutral light. And personally, I've never seen that follow-up, so I don't blame Hermisen for not trying to dodge out of it or anything. Like, usually after you get hit by bow recovery, he does what he just, or you do what he just did, where you just kind of
chase dodge into recovery.
Avoid the next one. Oh, the classic side light down light recovery. That's so much damage being netted for Flamethrower, and now he's probably going to start looking for signatures, but he's got to be sure not to send them in the direction of the Twilight Grove Island, as that constantly just denies so many KOs. Luckily, bow is a pretty good weapon as far as finding KOs separate from that island, due to the fact that recovery sends in a diagonally up direction. Hermisen, though, making it real dangerous for Flamethrower. If he hits him on that right island, he could KO him very early. And Flamethrower having to be conscious of that. A nice downlight into Nair, not going to quite finish off the stock. Hermisen staying alive for just a little while longer.
All right, Hermisen over to the Katars now. Was looking for the reset. You saw him hit the downlight and then back up, try to catch Flamethrower's dodge, but instead just didn't have any sort of reaction out of Flamethrower's dodge. Still needs more damage on the Flamethrower. Flamethrower needs this kill off of Hermisen. No recovery attempt. They were stacked like that. Oh. There's the recovery. Flamethrower able to get the stock lead over Hermisen.
I think a lot of this is going to depend on how far Flamethrower can push this stock. He knows that Hermisen needs this kill if he wants to avoid going down 0-2 in this set. And so right now he's playing very accordingly, staying up in the air, baiting Hermisen out to do things. And now he has stage control advantage. Hermisen, though, finding his way back on. Landing the Katar sidelight, definitely not going to KO on that one. And he couldn't quite find the follow-up move either. Flamethrower trying to come down with a Sarah, but Hermisen sniffs it out with a good, well-placed axe D-light. Flamethrower just, though, building up these hits just like last game. A Nair into recovery. He's completely abusing the fact that Hermisen is getting antsy for this kill. And even though Hermisen does find a Sarah, he managed to get Hermisen all the way into the orange. And he's just going to need a few more hits to close this off, whereas Hermisen's going to need a few good combos.
But Hermisen does have that weapon control. Unfortunately, Flamethrower able to get underneath. Oh, goes for that down sig. Not sure if that would have killed, but still would have been a lot of pressure on Hermisen, as Hermisen is very far behind Flamethrower at this point. Again, the down sig's coming out from Flamethrower. He's looking for this kill.
That was a nice D-light into, he actually faded back, waited for the dodge in from Hermisen and landed the recovery. Didn't quite net the kill, but now he's full on looking for either Katar recovery or some sort of signature. Now he's on the bow and actually just straight up dashes up and calls out the fact that Hermisen is not going to dodge his neutral signature. And that's game 2, putting on the shades for Flamethrower rather, and dealing 625 damage. I feel like that's like a lot more damage output than we typically see.
Yeah, that was quite a bit of damage put out from that Ember, but Ragnir, he's not the squishiest of characters, and you do see Hermisen switching over to that Bryn like you were talking about. Going to be keeping that axe from his Ragnir, bringing out the extra movement speed that he's going to get with his Bryn, as well as the spear. Might be leaving Twilight on the board. If he does, I think we're going to go right on back to Twilight. Yeah, it looks like he's leaving it.
I like Spear. I'll see how. Well, I suppose we'll have to see how Hermisen plays it. But I like Spear theoretically for what he's trying to do here. Spear is a very good answer to Katars historically, based on its range advantage and its ability to just kind of keep them out.
Yeah, especially with great coverage.
Yeah, Spear downlight counters the exact angle of Katar there that you see a lot of Katar players approach with time and time again. So theoretically, I think if he gets a lot of momentum in this match, this could start to go a lot better for him.
Well, he does have that spear in hand. Unfortunately, going to be going up against Flamethrower's bow instead of the Katars. He has Flamethrower on this corner, not going over aggressive, wants Flamethrower to come up, but was not expecting that gravity cancel downlight. Still keeping him in this corner. Does not want to let him out of his cave. He's like, you're staying in that cave. set up
And
a
I
campfire
like
'cause he's
that he went
stuck.
for a 5th end light. I'm inclined to think that at that point, Hermisen fully recognized the type of mental damage that he was dealing to Flamethrower with every single end light hit. It's like, come on, dude, I can't keep getting hit by this. And that actually has like a tangible effect on the set. Now he's got Flamethrower in the red on Bryn. I'd say a lot better kill sigs to throw out than Ragnir. Flamethrower looking for an early KO with that Katar side sig. Not quite going to land, though. And now he's stuck on the side. Hermisen looking for the Axe there. Doesn't quite land it, though. Flamethrower looking for the Katar recovery. Hermisen landing an interesting Axe end light. I actually expected him to try to do something off of that island.
Yeah,
bounce.
I expected him to try to bounce off and get something off that backboard, like alley-oop for the kill, but instead wanted to swap over to the spear. Looking for that kill with the spear. Maybe a side signature, but Flamethrower's underneath.
Ooh, a good
Dodge
dodge
out.
on that Katar ground pound. Flamethrower, good dodge out of the Hermisen spear recovery, and right now it's completely even. I think who takes this first stock is going to be extremely pivotal for the rest of how this game plays out. And once again, it's Flamethrower just always taking the first stock despite going down to a disadvantage every single game.
Those spear neutralites started off so good for Hermisen, but now needs this kill. And Flamethrower, again, just walk up neutral signature, just reading the fact that Hermisen's going to float away, not burn his dodge, and not go low.
Ooh, a nice axe there. Closes it off the stylish bounce on the right Twilight Island. And I'm honestly a little scared that Hermisen might be starting to get a little flustered at the fact that he just cannot find these KOs on historically such a low defense character. A lot of people I feel like have been driven away from Ember because of just how early you can die. But Flamethrower is doing a great job of evading Hermisen's kill options once he gets into that high damage range. And I think it's playing a huge part in his success in this set so far.
Yeah, testament to Flamethrower's movement. He has been zooming around Hermisen in such fantastic ways, taking full advantage of this movement speed on this Ember, and that killed! That was like yellow! That killed so early!
That's Twilight
orange,
Grove
still.
for you. That's
Off
just
the
Twilight
island.
stuff right there. You won't find that anywhere else. When you go onto that right island, you already know what kind of danger you're putting yourself in. And Hermisen, Flamethrower saying, as Hermisen retreats to the right island, literally saying, come at me. Don't be scared. I'm just a low defense Ember. And Hermisen responding back with a nice combo of his own, almost landing the Stair to close it out, but not quite. Landing the Dare, that should be it, unless Flamethrower pulls some crazy stuff to recover, but doesn't quite have the recovery options left. And Hermisen's actually not at that much of a disadvantage. We see him waiting till Flamethrower responds in order to go for the weapon guard for as long as possible, landing a nice deal in an air to pretty much equalize up the damage. And right now, Flamethrower is still weaponless against Hermisen's spear.
He's able to pick up the bow. He's going to have that downlight for long range poke if he wants to go in onto Hermisen, but Hermisen, he's just maintaining the center stage position. Got a gravity cancel side light. Can't really go straight into like a downlight from that because obviously you burned your gravity cancel. Surprised he didn't just at least try to jump nair, jump stair. But still, he's getting some good damage out on the Flamethrower. Good pokes. But again, Flamethrower, these walk up bow neutral signatures.
Yeah, I'll be honest, I don't know that I've ever seen anyone land this many signatures on Ember. I feel like historically Ember's signature kit is, at least on bow, I mean, you have that bow down sig that people are like, this might actually be the worst signature in the game. Because its hitbox is basically a twig. But I mean, he's just sticking to what kind of sigs he knows are going to hit. And right now the end light, this could actually be, if he lands one more hit, this could be it for Hermisen's tournament life. He's staying up in the air. Nice axe Sair. Closes out Flamethrower's stock. And this could be huge momentum-wise for Hermisen. Being able to respond from being down 0-2 with a new character, you're kind of refreshed, reset, and being able to respond and take that game might result in a huge momentum swing for Hermisen here. Flamethrower has to maintain his composure if he wants to stay in this one.
And he is going to ban out Twilight, maybe expecting Brawlhaven to be the pick. He wants just kind of generally flat maps. No soft platforms, nothing in the way. And so Hermisen is going to pick the largest of the flat maps. So that's Shipwreck, huge kill boxes. So you could see Flamethrower's stocks survive very long times just because of how far away you can get sent flying and still be able to come back on this map.
Hermisen snagging the first weapon, that axe, making sure to weapon guard Flamethrower continuously by taking that spear. And here come the end lights again.
The game.
A nice weapon throw into side light, and that's something that we haven't talked about yet, but Hermisen is historically very known for his fantastic uses of weapon throws. I feel like that's the first time when he really came out where people considered him a lot more cheese and didn't really recognize him for the good player that he is. They were like, at the very least, he's very skilled at using these weapon throws. And we're seeing that come out when he's in the most dire of situations, and it's kind of saving him here.
Yeah, these weapon tosses definitely doing work for both players, because Flamethrower, with his diagonal down throws on his katars, was getting a lot of openers on the Hermisen in game 2. Here's a punish opportunity for Flamethrower. Just going to get a nice little double tap down light in a neutral air. Wasn't quite in kill percent, so couldn't get much more than that.
Ooh, Flamethrower got Hermisen in the corner, but Hermisen manages to find his way back onto the stage. A nice down light, neutral light. Starting to build up that damage, just needs one more hit. He actually guessed that Hermisen would land on the ground rather than going into the air with that bow side signature, but he actually just does it again and manages to take out Hermisen's first stock for the 4th game in a row. 100% rate.
Hermisen starts off with this lead, and then Flamethrower just comes back and is like, nope, I'm still going to get the first stock. That's just what happens. And last game was incredibly close. Flamethrower could have won that one. So Hermisen's going to have to find something to get a little bit more momentum on this. The side air will finish it off, keep the stocks even.
Nice job using the geography of the stage to kind of punish Flamethrower there. Flamethrower didn't have much of a ledge to go to, so Hermisen just caught him before he could get to it. Now Hermisen, once again, using these spear end lights to edge guard, or to rather weapon guard Flamethrower from his katars, but Flamethrower did manage to pick it up. That is so much damage. I don't know if everyone knows how much damage that signature deals, but I'm pretty sure Flamethrower went from like light yellow to straight to orange from that signature.
Well, he got hit by the entirety of that down signature. That gravity canceled just to get that extra height. But Hermisen, again, he's sticking with the spear, just wants this kind of space control. And we talked a little bit about how he had the Katar carryover in his Ragnar. He has a spear carryover from when he used to play Queen Nai, so he's very familiar with this spear.
Ooh, that's
and it's
exactly what I wanted to
gravity
see.
Cancel neutral sig.
That combo is so good. That combo kills extremely early, and it's Ember. And I don't know the exact amount of dodge frames, but either way, I believe he caught Flamethrower's dodge there. So he just had the awareness to know that he could finish off Flamethrower's stock early. And this might honestly be one of the first times that we've seen Hermisen have like a concrete lead. But nope. Flamethrower responds and just says, no, we're keeping this even. Lands the D6.
You're in kill percent there, Hermisen. But Hermisen had primed his weapon. He's got the spear up next. Neutral light does catch Flamethrower, but Flamethrower with the wake up gets the full bowstring onto Hermisen. Ooh. Nice falling there.
Hermisen has him right where he wants him right now in the corner. Oh, I feel like he's gonna look for a Bryn side sig. No. He was just looking for the Saren. That actually allowed Flamethrower to get right through, land a quick combo into bow neutral sig, but not actually putting out a whole lot of damage. Now Hermisen looking for any sort of move that he can convert into the kill right now. Flamethrower needs to build up probably a little more damage before he can find it. And I mean, I called it 20 seconds in advance. It wasn't exactly when I said it would happen, but I'll be honest, it's hard to resist when you're playing Bryn. That sig is so consistent as far as when you throw it out, the chances that you're actually going to get punished hard for it are pretty low because of the position that it ends you in. It ends you a little bit off the ground, which means that you can very quickly jump away and keep yourself safe. And I mean, Hermisen was able to close out the stock with it, and it's now 2-2. I am so scared for Flamethrower and his mentality at this point, because when you're up 2-0 and you're in that pivotal game 3 and you have him so close to death, and now it's 2-2, it's very difficult to maintain your mental stability at that point.
Pressure is definitely on Flamethrower at this point. The comeback is very potential here for Hermisen. He's sticking with his Bryn. No swaps from Flamethrower. Not surprised to see. He's level 100. He's put in the time on this character. And we're going to be finishing it off on Mammoth.
Interesting side note is that you can see which stats each player values, because Flamethrower gave himself extra movement speed even when Ember has a very high base movement speed, and Hermisen actually took his own movement speed away even when Bryn is sitting at a pretty mid-tier movement speed. So I mean, Hermisen, I mean, to be honest, from a Queen Nai player, I'm not very surprised that he doesn't value movement speed very high.
He's okay with 3 movement speed, so anything above that is perfectly fine with him. He's sticking with his spear again. No surprise to see from Hermisen. Going for the neutral light game, but Flamethrower has the soft platform in the middle for now that he can use to kind of land above Hermisen.
Ooh. A good gravity cancel. Down light recovery from Hermisen. Just outplaying Flamethrower in the neutral very minutely. Now he's just kind of he's being very patient about which moves he uses. You see Hermisen in particular do a lot of he doesn't throw out a lot of hitboxes. He very much so likes to dash back and forth and pick and choose his battles.
He has been doing this thing though, where if he whiffs an attack, he'll do a jump gravity cancel real quick in the opposite direction to try to catch the dodge read. He is
that
gonna get
D-Light
that
Sarah
kill.
killed Flamethrower so early.
Oh. Over to the axe for Hermisen. Likely was trying to pick up the spear, and yeah, he's gonna make the swap immediately. Flamethrower, good movement, does not get caught by that down signature, not gonna eat all that damage.
Hermisen is weapon guarding Flamethrower to the extreme right now. There's another one. Flamethrower cursing his RNG right now.
He's like, all right, maybe I'll be on this side of the map. Oh, it's gonna move to that side of the map. All right, finally
As
picks
far
up
as
the
I know,
guitars.
The actual only bit of RNG in this game is working against Flamethrower right now and paying Hermisen dividends as he has Flamethrower in the corner again right now. Flamethrower starting to slow it down a little bit, going for the pop-up Sarah. Hermisen is just perfectly baiting backwards with these spear endlights. That spear sidestick almost landed.
Yeah, that was really close. Likely felt the lums on that Barbara skin if he had it, but we do see the juggles come out from Flamethrower. Gonna be sticking with these katars. Hermisen, he's gonna immediately steal away that weapon. No opportunity for Flamethrower to weapon deny. Oh, okay.
Ooh.
Axe dare. Big
Axe
hit.
dare onto Ember. You already know. Axe dare is just one of those moves.
Yep.
And dude, I feel so bad for Flamethrower right now. He just cannot get his hands on a weapon. I mean, well played by Hermisen to keep it out of. Oh my God, there's another one.
He's just
Flamethrower has spent more time weaponless this game than he has spent with a weapon. I actually legitimately think that's the case. But he's doing just fine with this unarmed now, building up some good damage onto Hermisen. Another good weapon spawn. Another one. Flamethrower.
This is Hermisen's game plan. He's like, you're not gonna get a weapon. That's just, it's not happening. There's a 0% chance you were getting a weapon on this stock. Hermisen with the denial.
Can we get a counter in chat on how many weapons it was before Flamethrower was able to get a weapon that stock? I mean, he finally finds his guitars, but at this point he's in the orange. And especially as Ember, he's like 2 or 3 good hits from Bryn away from being knocked out of the tournament by Hermisen in a reverse 3-0 kind of fashion. But I mean, I'm not doubting. He's done some good things this set. Definitely made some early kills happen. Right now he's floating around in the air right now, and Hermisen, I really dig this Bryn swap because it feels like the spear has been working so well for him versus Flamethrower's playstyle.
The spear plays are really just carrying Hermisen through this game. But the neutral sig is not going to kill Hermisen here. Hermisen
and that hurts.
able to make
that
it back.
hurts if you're Flamethrower. He does manage to pick up the kill. And I mean, he's gonna have to make something major happen. But I mean, Bo builds up damage quick. Katars have the ability to KO early off the bottom. And right now he's already got Hermisen into that light orange, starting to make it happen. Hermisen looking for the axe there, doesn't quite land it. Flamethrower trying to keep Hermisen up in the air, going up in the air himself, looking for a nair. Lands the Sarah, and this is getting really scary for both players. He's in that range where it's actually very difficult for Hermisen to find a kill move if it's not just raw in neutral. Now he has the spear, though, a little easier to find it. Flamethrower playing around, that Sarah's not quite going to KO.
Oh my gosh, one more hit. The side air will do it. Hermisen with the reverse 3 games in a row. Beats out Flamethrower. The swap to the Bryn, the spear play was just too much, and Hermisen will continue on. And that's heartbreaking, man. If you're a Flamethrower, you were 1 hit away from the finish line, from continuing on in the lower bracket. But
yeah, and one hit away from 3-0ing a player like Hermisen, who we already know for